Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kahlu Podcast. I'm your host, the Psy Guy. We sit down today with an in-depth conversation and navigate through the trials and tribulations of life's most challenging moments. Yasidi, our podcast is a tapestry of human resilience, a place where laughter and stories light up even the darkest of times. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest today. Welcome, Yusef from the Carolinas.
How's it going inside?
It's going good. Yusef. You see, the Eid has passed. Eid Sa'id. كل عام وانتم بخير. كل سنة وانت سالم. Eid has passed, but the problem is not every day is Eid, and we have trials and tribulations that we go through in this dunya, in this life, and we want to hear some of your trials and tribulations and how you overcame them, Yusef, in this dunya. So please help our audience know. First, if you want to introduce yourself, by the way, introduce to the audience who you are, where you came from, what's your social security number, share it all with the world.
Inshallah.
Give us an intro of who you are.
An address, right? I'll put the address in there too.
Got the address. If you want to give us a hair and send it off to a public place for someone to pick up, inshallah. Whatever you're comfortable with.
All right. Bismillah. So the biggest trial for most of us, especially growing up in this country, is the aspect of balancing your identity with your culture that you come from, that culture of your parents, and the culture that you're assuming in wherever you are growing up in the United States or America. So biggest thing I think among the group of guys that we grew up with is having a balancing act of those two things. Maintaining your deen or your religion in the process, maintaining your relationships with your parents, with your general family, with the community. In my case, my background is I'm a local supplier. I supply meat to people, and I have face-to-face conversations on a regular basis. So you get to see even everybody from other walks of life and see how they entangle America. So alhamdulillah, it is the country that we grew up in.
And is this any kind of meat, or is this
halal meat? Halal meat.
Because I was gonna say, if you're selling to a butcher, like if you're selling fish, halal meat, because fish is halal meat technically. If you're selling fish, at the fish market, and you get somebody that's outside of the religion, that's fine. But you guys specifically sell halal meat to typically Muslimin,
Muslims, Indians. Even from our neck of the woods, Southeast Asia,
any
Asia,
Jews?
Middle East. We used to have a few that would come strictly for catering aspects, but I haven't seen them in a long time. Honestly.
So not a lot of Jews in a while. Got it.
No, it's been a while. And most of them, they're specifically centric to their own markets and their own clientele. So we used to get a few here and there, but it's not like that, like it used to be. So Indians are our biggest customer base, and Muslims afterwards. So that's kind of what
culture and religion. Got it. When you say you would see the difficulties in yourself, and then you would see them with your customer base, walk us through some of those experiences.
So, say for example, the mere fact, like for example, the big thing, like when we were growing up. Our mother went out of her ways, went to the school board, got us out for Jummah every Friday. The Friday khutbah and everything. We'd leave school half day, ride into Charlotte, go to the Jummah prayer, and then that was our thing. And my mom was one of those people that was the first person to do these things. And now, alhamdulillah, the local masajid, they all have a pre-printed setup. They haven't already been to the local board. Anybody technically can take them off now without any penalties or anything. So alhamdulillah, that's a nice reaction in that aspect.
You see, you're telling me something that this is the first time I'm hearing it. So in public schools in America, it is mandatory for all children to attend school all days unless there is particular reasons, particular items that say you're allowed to not be in school. Here's the pass. So, and this,
Right.
what year was this? Is this in the early 90s?
This is back in the, let's say about 93, 94. That's when we did it. Only Muslims in the area. My mom fought the school board.
So she showed up in the you're talking about the South, right? This hijabi woman,
Exactly.
Saying we need Friday off for Friday prayer. You know how like y'all have Sunday prayer. My kids need to go to Friday Jummah prayer and make the salah. And was it an easy battle?
No, she went back and forth. First they said, "Oh, we can't do that. We have to mark them absent." Blah blah blah. And then she went back. She said, "I am not budging. This is my religious right." Blah blah blah. They said, "Well, maybe every other Friday." She said, "No, we're going to get every Friday." So they finally came back to the table. They said, "Fine, we had to make up any missed work during that time." I said, "Well, so be it.
Make up work. Yeah.
So, make up work and whatever." So alhamdulillah, it was nice coming to Jummah to Charlotte every Friday for Jummah. So
I wish your mother knew my mother, because that definitely was not an option. Sile, you're gonna get your ass to school. You're gonna make dua that God forgives you, and you don't go to hell for the school that you're going to and missing. I wish our moms knew each other more. Subhanallah. I would have loved to skip school every Friday. But you know what? This is dedication. This is our deen. You have to make an effort, and Rabbna will take care of the rest. And that's looks like that's what happened for you guys. MashaAllah. Barakallah.
At the end of the day, Side, your mother is one of the rocks of this community, man. I'm just to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
Even that may be a minor thing, but she for sure battled for pretty much everybody else. So I'm gonna give that to you.
Barakallah. Shout out to the mother side. There you go. There you go. Khalas, yani, if there was somebody to say, "Hey, do you know Yusef, the meat guy?" They're gonna know it's one of not even 3 people, right? I don't even know if there is 3 people named Yusef that sell meat.
I don't know about the other 2. So, but I mean, it's what it is.
You're out there. Yeah. What problems did you run into? I mean, did you have to deal with any intercultural issues growing up in?
Well, we regularly do. We regularly do. So, an aspect of our business is we are like a meat processor. So we deal with the auctions, we deal with farmers, and we're kind of the only contact they have with Muslims. So, in and of itself, is we have excellent conversations. Like, for example, let's say this current situation in Gaza. So people are like, Israel has the right to defend themselves, this and that. I said, okay, fine. Let's start with that. I said, if somebody came into your backyard and said, this is my backyard, what would you do about it? Well, I'll find them and push them off. He said, well, what's happening over there? It's the same scenario. I said, are you going to lay down in your backyard and allow somebody to take over your property, or come into your house and take whatever they would like to take? No, I wouldn't allow that. So I said, that's the beauty of this, is that even though people, you run into a lot of people, but when you break it down to simplicities, and especially the culture we have in the South, where you defend your land. I mean, that's just simply what it is here. It doesn't matter who it is. Your land is your property. Your land is your right. And that's where it comes down to. So, I mean, and the beautiful thing is, we have a lot of conversations like that, and mashallah, I feel people are understanding it. Even though they're coming from those backgrounds, especially when they're coming from those backgrounds.
That's irrefutable.
Exactly.
That's an easy concept, especially in the South. Oh, you want to take my land? Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Bruh.
So, and the beauty on that is that when you break it down into those simplicities, people really truly understand the concept of what exactly is going on. Even though they may come from, some of them do come from evangelical backgrounds, which are really, really pro-Zionist or pro whatever you want to call it. So,
and it's heavy
when you
in
break
the
it down
South
to
as
that,
well.
it's very heavy. It's very heavy. So, but the nice thing is, the beauty of it is that even though, majority, quote unquote, the majority of the people that you see protesting are quote unquote liberals, the conservatives, when you break it down to that, they understand it like a textbook. They understand the whole scenario. They'll break it down for you. They'll even spit it back to you even better than how you told them. So the nice thing is the hearts are changing, which is the nice thing I like about here in the South. Even though, I mean, you still run into people that are really narrow-minded, not willing to open up or anything, not even willing to have conversations like, what do you believe in? Those type of things. So the beauty, and the nice thing is this is a very grassroots type of thing, is you go to the auction and see everybody spitting tobacco, smoking, looking really rough around the edges, but you're going to have a really good conversation with people. And at the end of the day, they understand you better. It's like, wait a second, this guy's very similar to us. This guy has the same ideals. This guy's worrying about his own family. This guy's worrying about, what's going to be put on his table next. Those type of things. And that's the beauty of those kind of conversations, especially among the locals that we deal with. So,
do you ever find yourself running into? Because that's crazy how a simple meat processing company needs to have these conversations with their customers, their clientele, their locals, the locals in the area. But the issue that's happening overseas shouldn't fall into, like, I'm at work today. I didn't have to talk about Gaza, but at the same time, if your clientele sees this very large, dark-skinned, bearded man named Yusef, they're probably going to have some questions and might be a little worried. And if you have that dialogue, it sounds like not only are they understanding, they're receptive to seeing the reality of your truth and your situation. It's crazy that these conversations that you're having and the things that you share on a day-to-day. Now, moving forward, communication works. It's great. People get to it, especially people that the people that are in your area. You understand how they work, they think. Their mindset works. They're straightforward. They're straight shooters. You tell them the truth, and they get it. What about people that don't get it?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of those too. There's a stubborn few, but the nice thing is, at the end of the day, we have built a reputation that we're straightforward with people. Even though we have those type of people, they will not. Let's say they won't talk. They'll talk ugly about you or whatever, but at the end of the day, if they say, "Oh, is so and so's money good?" He said, "Yeah, his money is good. You should never have to worry about him paying you or not paying you. This guy will pay you." And so they still give you that respect, even at the end of the day, they don't like you. And at the end of the day, we are in a scenario where it's very racist. Especially a lot of the livestock markets are very racist. And we're probably pretty much the only colored person that are in the whole room. Now, we stick out like sore thumbs. So,
yeah, I was going to say, like, what's unusual. The lineup look like? Bob, Smith, Billy, John, Yusef? Yes. What?
Yeah, and Muhammad. And that's the other guy.
Calm down. So, get over here, Abdullah.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy, man. But you know what? There's a presence. There's a presence. And that presence matters. That presence matters because, hey, we're farmers. The term fallahin, what does that mean? Farmers. We grew everything from scratch. We tilled our own. We tilled our own plants. We planted our own plants. We watered our own plants. We sold our own plants. The true Palestinian is a farmer, a fallahi. We don't have knafa. We have chnafa. You see what I mean? So it's crazy how we're so different, and they see Arab Palestiniya so differently, and yet we're still the same at the end of the day. So.
Still the same. We're after the same things. We're after shelter. We're after safety. We're after food. These are all rights that every single one of us aspire to. And on top of that, we have, the Prophet ﷺ used to tell people, don't talk to people about religion until you get them covered by, they have something over their head, they have food, and they have somewhere that they have safety. Then you start talking about Islam. Then you start talking about religion. Then you start talking about, as somebody coming from a place of safety is different than a person coming from a place where I don't know where my next meal is. I don't know where I'm going to be sleeping. I don't even know if I'm going to be safe or wherever I am at this point in time. So you really have to get those off the table for people to have a good conversation with you. It's as simple as how life is. So
that's crazy, and I agree with you 1,000%. If you're talking to somebody that's not stable, then you can't expect stability in a response.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, the main thing right now is keeping the steady path. Make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Make sure that we are representing us as human beings and as Muslims as well, and continuing to offer people an alternative. Honestly, when it comes down to it, I mean, we should be. I mean, at the end of the day, we should be examples of good Muslims. I mean, we all have rough spots. We're all not 100% the best of people, but we should try our best to showcase what we are. You know, we take care of people. We go out of our way to, if somebody's has been around for a while, give them a call. Hey, what's going on? I haven't seen you. You know, make sure your transactions with people are fair. You're not stealing from anybody. You're not cheating people. You know, that type of thing.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, I mean, we should be human beings. I mean, at the bare minimum.
Absolutely.
You know, our religion really dictates that to us, and it's very simplistic. I mean, that's the beauty of it all. If we follow those things, I mean, a lot of things. Life is so much better when all those things fall into place. So.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. You got to have that alignment. Follow your deen, and everything else follows suit. You don't need to cheat. You don't need to be greedy. This dunya is not worth it. So another controversial topic I'd like to talk to you about is, hey man, why you got those pricey ass prices? And I was spending millions of dollars at that place. Well, what's up with all those prices, man?
Hey man, we put true cost in things. You know, we have to go get it and bring it to you. We got to charge you, man. That's how it works.
Man, my grandma tried to hustle you for 20 minutes every time. Every time. She's like,
and she enjoyed every minute of it.
She looked right in your face with one tear dangling. And he said no. Oh man. You gotta love those stories. Your aunt used to really strong arm us. So oh, absolutely. I know your father's 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 father. It don't matter, man.
Yeah, the whole family tree.
Absolutely. Man, wallahi, when I think of the new ventures and the different meat processing that you guys are talking about, I think about your dad. And I think about, mashallah, an amazing man. You guys had a farm growing up. I remember visiting the farm, and subhanallah, Abu Yusef is, when I see his face, I see the land, and I see the amazing hospitality, and I see the humbleness that I see in you guys.
Well, there's a lot of that, but the biggest thing growing up was that our dad instilled in us the key thing is to be fair to people, and with the thing with my dad's very rough. He's a very rough person, but the nice thing about him being rough is you know what to expect, the extreme of things, and you're not scared to stand up to anybody else. Once you meet my dad.
So he's like the boss level on Nintendo. Once you beat it, khalas, every other little boss is...
Even though he's like half the size of me, man, this guy, you put the fear of God in you. So, but alhamdulillah, I mean, the biggest thing about my dad is that he gives sound advice. Even though you may hate it, it's hard to swallow, but he'll give you sound advice. Even though that you may not like it yourself. And that's the beauty of having a good parent that comes in and tells you how it is. And it tells you if you're on a trajectory like, you're not going to be able to feed yourself, brother. You need to figure something out now or you're going to be on the street. So, that was kind of the scenarios we had with my brothers. I mean, some of my brothers, one of my brothers, he had a rough time with school and such. And my dad had to be, he was on the rough side with him all the time. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, he's excelled more than probably most of us, than all of us. So alhamdulillah, I mean, that push, that tough love really makes a difference. I mean, the thing is, our society has moved away from that.
Absolutely.
More of, we're very loving, very huggy, very whatever. It's
iPads,
it's an alternative.
And cell phones.
iPads galore, and cell phones, distractions. And that's the biggest thing nowadays. Even though I was growing up, it's like, if we had phones and that type of thing, I don't even know what kind of direction we would be doing right now. Honestly, with the distractions that are within our hands length. Honestly, you have an iPad, you have the phone, you have all these things. You have to curtail that stuff for your kids. I mean, honestly, it's just too much.
Yeah, it's and this is the signs of society slowly deteriorating. So I hope that a big shift happens sooner than later. All right, Yusef, we're running out of time here. I have one last question for you, man, and I'm gonna let you go. When I came 20 million years ago and visited your house, I was so jealous of this one toy you guys had, and it was the yellow pogo stick. Do you guys still own the yellow pogo stick?
No, man. I'm wearing that has disappeared too. I have no idea what happened to it.
Maybe
I remember the yellow poker stick.
Maybe I need to buy one, and yeah, it'll be a weird.
You should,
purchase.
Man.
It'll be a weird.
It would be a weird purchase, but
my wife's gonna
nostalgic.
Yeah, very nostalgic. Well, Yusef, you've been wonderful, man. I want to give a shout out to your business. If you're a business, restaurant, global, international, and somebody wants to purchase wholesale halal meats from your organization, where do they go to?
WholesaleHalalMeat.com.
WholesaleHalalMeat.com. Barakallah feek, Ya Yusef. May Allah accept your fast today.
I mean,
thank you, Yusef, for joining us. You have a blessed day.